Good morning, it's Clay at clayzero.com. This will be a live trade video where I try to capture some of my trades as they play out live. It's still about 40 minutes before the market opens, but I'm watching this 57.70-ish area as potential pre-market trade. So I wanted to get the video rolling right now. In this chart over here, the white. Sorry, just trying to get my marker in place here. But this represents the pre-market chart right now. Like I said, I'm watching 57.70-ish. Not looking for anything huge, just more of a scalp. But I am liking, okay, there we go. So in at 57.70. Let's see if we can get some more push to the downside here. Okay, big size there at 57.55. Not sure I like that. Give it a chance to try to get down through it though. I should note these are live in the sense of I don't know what's coming next, so this is not me playing dumb. It's not me. I really don't know. So you're seeing this all play out live, and I'm having to think through this stuff right now in real time. Like I said, trying to give this thing a little bit more time to make another move down to that 57.50 area, but 57.55, big side. Oh, nice. So took out 4 there. Still have $100 shares left. Try to take off some more there at 57.35, and I got those. But let's see if we can get some more of a good solid downside pressure here. Still have 75 shares left. So big move down. So not shocking at all to see this go green here a little bit. So hopefully this is just a little breath before it resumes its move back to the downside. So I could still technically lose money on these final 75 shares, which in hindsight, I'd be like, well, Clay, why don't you just take profits on them? Well, that's true, but at the same time, what happens if this thing keeps going down? Then I'd be sitting here saying, well, why did you sell so soon? So that's the tricky part of trading, right? I'll look stupid if I end up losing money on these final 75 shares, but I'll look smart if it actually goes in my favor. So it's always hindsight's 2020. So let's see if we can get another move back to the downside here. Took off another 25. So still have 50 shares left. But at this point, I don't know, does it want to go or doesn't it? Yeah. So does it want to make another push to the downside? Actually, if this goes up over 60, I'm going to hop out with my remaining ones. Just seeing the level 2's big size there. So if it goes up over 57.60, I'm out with my remaining shares. So there you go. Nice little $103 there on a pre-market trade. Pretty pattern. And actually, just to show, if you're curious, hey Clay, how does your chat room work? I know you offer it. How exactly does that play out though? So let me bring that across here. This is what I made before I got the video rolling. 57.70 flush point here on the 2-minute in pre-market. Very nice pattern. And you saw me take that trade. But the thing was, I made that alert before I made the trade. And well, Clay, how do we know that's true? Well, you can see right there, 8:51 is when the alert was made. And then my entry point was at 8:52. In other words, this is not a situation like many chat rooms out there where the moderators, the admins, they get in first and then they alert everybody. Nope. Everybody had the same exact opportunity that I did on that one. And if you're wondering, how did I make money? Look, I'm confused, Clay. The price was going down. How are you making money? That is known as going short. So if you're a beginner, yes, believe it or not, you can make money in the markets when prices go down. Again, that's known as going short, shorting the stock. So that's what I did right there. But as you saw, members had the opportunity to have the same exact trade. But there we go. So $103. Overall, good solid trade. I mean, just took 500 shares on it, but I, got a good initial move. And then, yeah, I could have, should have, would have gotten more because I got out at 57.35 on that area right there. But then, it did bounce back up on me. But like I said, wanted to hang on to some shares just in case it did continue on down. But as of right now, just pretty much stabilizing out. But overall, nice little, it's always good to, before the official open at 9:30 a.m. if you're starting up with in the green a little bit. So like I said, up after commissions, probably right around $100. I will go ahead and pause and maybe another pre-market trade. If not, I'll just see you back at the open. Market opens up here any second now. We'll be watching 56. And unfortunately, it's looking like it might break down through that opening candle, but I don't want to take this on the opening candle short. Ideally, this thing bounces out of the opening gates, but just not quite sure that's going to actually happen. And as of now, nope, heading down. But let's see if it can turn itself around. Oh, wow, just straight down through there. Well, in hindsight, shoulda, coulda, woulda, right? But there is very quickly the bounce back upwards. So 55.25-ish, an interesting area. Like I said, want to just let this first minute candle play out. So these are 1 minute candlesticks, meaning this is representing the first minute of the day. Just trying to get an idea for how this wants to play out. And just like that, green. But yes, this 1 minute candle all over the place. That's why I just want to let it settle down here a little bit. So 55.50 is an interesting area here. Oh, wow, way too fast. Oh, I was ready for it too. Well, that is very frustrating. I was ready, then I just wasn't quite fast enough. But I can't let my frustrations lead to me shorting down here and chasing the price. Got to see if this thing wants to at least bounce up a little bit. Keep an eye on Tesla too. Tesla would be more for trading the actual options on, but right now I'm definitely looking to trade the stock. So 54.80 is interesting. 54.80 for it to come down to there. Yeah, that's still. I'm talking to myself right now. Yeah, so I'd like to see this thing stay green, and then 54.80 could be very, very interesting. Like I said, just want to see how this candle closes. So 54.80 watching closely. Wow, Tesla just snapped right back up. Okay, good. So seeing this one take a little bit of a rest here. At 55, 55.25 again in play. That's the area that I missed previously. So in there at 55.25. Let's see if we can get a move down below 55. Again, want to see this thing come on down below 55. I mean, 54.87 would be even better, but let's just first see if we can get even below 55. There we go. So it took out some share. Wow, and that fast bounced back up. Well, at least I'm glad I took out some of the allotment there. But let's see if we can get back below 55. Again, I still could be taking a loss on these final 300 shares, which is looking like I'm going to need to do. So I actually took a loss on that trade. Well, I'm glad I took out. Wow. Well, I'm glad I got out where I did. So that was a losing trade. Started off very nicely. And holy smokes, I'm glad I got out where I did. But I want to be ready just in case. Yeah, if this thing comes back down to 55, I'm interested. Is this just some sort of algo jump? Or is this legit? Well, that was a big disappointment. Again, started off very, very nicely by locking in a big chunk of profits. But then, because of that move upwards, ended up taking a loss on the 300 shares, which brought me to my entire trade to a loss. Because I was up, what, like $104 going in, so I lost $7 or something on that trade. But yeah, we'll see if that 55-ish area wants to come back into play again. Or who knows, maybe this is the start of a bigger move to the upside. So AMC, after first trade, great. Then a very frustrating missing what would have been an awesome trade. And then having a winning trade all of a sudden turned into a losing trade. Again, but that goes back to the point at the pre-market trade was, I get it. You're saying, Clay, you should have just sold all 900 down at 55. That would have been a good, solid trade. And yeah, you're right. In hindsight, I should have just gotten out. But what happens if it would have kept falling? Then that would have been great. But I mean, did I think it would spike up that much? No, but it did. And that's just the nature of trading sometimes. So I will go ahead and pause right now, but in a sick and twisted way. I mean, I'm glad I'm capturing this stuff on video because it just goes to show how quickly things can turn around and how, yeah, sometimes you'll sit there and play the game of I wish I would have just gotten rid of everything instead of holding on to it. But then, like I said, if it ends up going in your favor, you're going to be sitting there saying, why did I get out so soon? All right, I'm going to go ahead and pause. Watching 55.70 here for a potential short. And 55.70. Very clearly moving quite quickly. Watching very, very closely. In there, 55.71. So did I just get suckered in, or is this thing going to come back down? I'm going to look to add if it comes back down to 55.70. Another 400 shares. So if this comes back down to 55.70, I'm going to add back into that full size. Let's see what it wants to do. Again, 55.70. You got to watch very closely and be very fast. But 56 is definitely holding up the price right now. Let's watch 55.70 though. Oh, spiking up on me now. We'll see if it wants to come back down. Well, all right, let this thing chill out here. But maybe this thing is just gonna, well, yeah, really all over the place. How amazing would that be if this thing actually came back down to 56? Not looking like it's going to happen, though. We'll see, though. Well, it's coming down. Yeah, 56. If this thing comes all the way down to 56, I'm going to add in the 400 because that would be one big old failed bounce. But again, got to come back down to 56. Coming down. Watching very, very closely here. Again, watching 56. In there for another 400 shares. Let's see if we can get this thing to move, start dropping. There we go. Want to see it below 55.50. Nice. Took off 400. Shoot, didn't mean to do another 400. That's all right. I'll go with 25 now as I scale out. Let's see if we can get this thing to drop down to 55. Still have 100 shares left. I didn't mean to take out as many as what I did, but I didn't change that to what I wanted to. But so let's see if we can get this thing down to 55. Big buyer at 55.15. Got me a little worried that it could potentially okay, took out 25 more just because not quite sure. Does it want to go? Doesn't it want to go? I don't know. Let's give it a chance for 55. Throw out an order at 54.75 just in case there is some sort of fast move. There we go. But once again, stuck right there at the 54.85-ish mark is really that key level. So 54.80 looking like if that thing can be broken, should make another move to the downside. Or is this thing just going to find some support right there? In fact, based on that, I think I can get 54.50. So why do 54.75 if I think that can now make a move down to let's see. Really does seem to be getting hung up around this area though. Going to take off 25 more just in case. Okay, so just have 25 left. But looking like it might want to bounce upwards. So there we are, $525, good recovery. And that's why I don't like to move off on just kind of random moves like that. Big random move up. I let it settle down and then came all the way back down, added to it, and you can see it worked out very nicely. Well, and then of course, now it's gonna, there it goes. Typical, right? You get out and then it goes in your favor. Have you ever been there before? Well, you're not alone. It helps me too. So good. There we go. $525 now, only about 15 minutes in. So I'll take it, but looking like maybe some more interesting activity on this one. So I'm not going to quite call it a day quite yet, but I'm also going to become very high. Not that I wasn't high maintenance to begin with, but I'm going to become that much more high maintenance in terms of requiring and wanting to see the price behave in certain ways. But yeah, I'll go ahead and pause for now. Well, I'm going to go ahead and wrap things up and move on with my day. So about 20 minutes in, granted there was that pre-market trade, so let's just call it 30 minutes. $525 with commissions. Let's call it right around $500. So hey, total of 30 minutes, $500. I will take it. And as you saw, 3 separate trades on AMC, all from the short side. So I guess I shorted the apes. I shorted those diamond hands today. And me against the apes, they did win that one battle, but I ultimately won the war today. So if you are an ape, hey, that's all is fair in love and war. So, I mean, sometimes you get the better of me. Sometimes I get the better of you. That's just how it goes sometimes. But, yeah, so shorting the apes, won against them 2 out of 3 times. I'll take it. But, again, I just to point out the main learning lesson here, always hold on to some. Always hold on to a few shares, a few contracts, whatever you're trading, because I get it. It can every now and then bite you, like it bit me here with that random, just crazy move to the upside. But in many situations, you're going to regret not hanging on to at least something if the price all of a sudden really starts to go in your direction. But yeah, you never know what's going to quite occur. But if you're always taking yourself completely out of positions, you're going to be leaving, within the big picture of things, a lot more profits on the table. So just keep that in mind. But before I go, also, if you are interested in learning more about technical trading, strategies, how to get consistent, just really kind of how to improve as a trader. So if you enjoyed this video, if you want to learn more about how I trade, how technical analysis, technical trading works, then I do offer a live class that I'm going to talk about right as soon as this video ends. So if you're interested in learning more about that class, getting signed up, like I said, stay tuned and I'm going to talk about it more right now. First off, thanks so much for watching the entire video. Real quick, before you go, I want to invite you to a live webinar, web class, training, workshop, online event, whatever you want to call it, but it will be me live revealing to you what I've discovered that has allowed me to transform myself from being an employee to being my own boss, including how I had only 1 losing day out of 73 days in total. I'm going to cover 3 keys that have helped me unlock profitable consistency within the markets. The first key is super weird, but in a productive type of way. The second key is super awesome because it quite literally is wired into our DNA as humans, making it very easy to use. But in a cruel way, this becomes a pitfall for many traders. I'll explain it all though, including how to avoid the pitfall that it creates for some. And yeah, the third key, when you hear it, sounds way too good to be true, but it's not, and I'll show you how it all works. Then at the end, I open it up for a question and answer session that is, again, totally live. Even if you can't make the live session, please still sign up as it will be recorded, and you can go back and watch the replay that I will send you. Click the image on the screen or click the link down in the description box so you can get the date and time and claim your spot, which I should note is limited due to the fact that this truly is a live event. If you have any questions, let me know. If not, I'll be seeing you soon.